أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu and welcome to our class today. I hope and pray that you are all doing well and keeping safe. Please make sure that you have done your wudu before you enter the classroom today. Also, please make sure that your heads are covered throughout the class. Please make sure that you are logged in with the correct ID. You may find yourself in the waiting room if you are logged in with the incorrect ID, and you will be asked to log in again using the correct ID. Please also make sure that videos remain off throughout the class and that you're sitting in a nice and quiet place so that we're all able to hear you once you're called to the mic. Jazakumullah. And as you can see from the contents page in front of you, we will be practicing our reading today using the exercise Asma'ul Husna, and today will be a recap session. Once again, please make sure that your videos are off throughout the class. Jazakumullah. So I will hand back over to our main teacher for today to do the dua with you today.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope that you're all doing well today, and welcome to week 8 Monday's class. We will be starting with our Quranic dua for Monday, and if I could have a student to the mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum, G1001.
Assalamu alaikum, G1001.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today? Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, and Jazakumullah for asking. If you have another device in your room who is connected to the class, could you please ask them to move out of the room?
Okay.
Jazakumullah. And let's start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah. A'udhu billah.
A'udhu billah.
Minash shaitan.
Minash shaitan.
Rajim.
Rajim.
Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Rahman.
Rahman.
Rahim.
Rahim.
Rabbish.
Rabbish.
Rahli.
Rahli.
Sadri.
Sadri.
Very nice. Wa yassir.
Wa yassir.
Li.
Li.
Amri.
Amri.
Very nice. Do you think you can read the translation here?
Yes, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Lord, expand my mind and make my task easy for me.
Very nice. Very nicely read. And do you know what this means in the brackets? Taha 26 to 27.
No.
Basically, there are 114 chapters in the Holy Quran, and Taha is one of them. And this Arabic dua from the Holy Quran is found in this chapter, Taha, and in verse 6 to 27. Very nicely read. Jazakumullah G1001. Allah Hafiz. Okay, now I would like to start a breakout room, and some of you will be moved into the breakout room. This will make it easier for us to listen to as many as possible students. So just bear with me 1 second, and I will start it now. Okay, let's carry on with our class now. Today, 1 second. Okay, today we will be doing chapter 18, wasl. You did wasl last week, and we will be doing these mixed exercises. This exercise, it is actually 18.4. It's unlabeled, but it is 18.4. And it's a useful exercise of Asmaul Husna, which means attributes of Allah. Asmaul Husna means attributes of Allah. And in this exercise, the attributes of Allah are listed, and we will be reading them today because it's a repetition and it's a practice. I will not be leading, so I will ask a student to read, and it will be a good practice for the student to read for themselves. If I could have the first student to the mic, please. Assalamu alaikum. Could I have the first student to the mic, please?
Yeah, G1, just a second, I'm just going through the list to find a student who's present. G1041.
Assalamu alaikum, G1041.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah, and jazakumullah for asking. Okay, let's start with this line here. If you could start reading from this, from here, from the first line.
Who?
Very-
Walla.
Okay,
Walla.
just before you go ahead, sorry, I forgot to let you know that all the letters in red, they have to be read with a thick sound, just like those thick letters. Okay, so try to read the red letters with a thick sound. So it's the colored red is color red is there for you to help you. So this is the name of Allah, and it will be read a bit with your mouth rounded, and you will learn this later on when it is read with your mouth rounded, but here, just here now, it will be read thick. Okay, so wallah.
Walla.
Very nice, carry on.
Hulla.
Okay, try not to prolong it for too long, just prolong the la here for 1 second only.
La.
La, very nice.
Lazi.
The, very nice. And do you know what you do with the here?
Lam. Yamada.
Yes, very nice, Yamada. And just prolong the dal here for 2 seconds then. Okay,
Z.
that's it.
La.
La, and
La.
that's it. You prolong it.
La.
Very nice.
Ha.
Yes,
Illa. Huza.
that's it. Very nice. And you have recognized the alif madya here and the ya madya, and you prolonged it for 2 seconds, and the vertical fatha you prolonged for 2 seconds. Very nicely read. Jazakumullah, G1041. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, great. So let's move on to the next line. If I could have one student.
Who? Walla.
G1041,
La.
ask you to mute yourself, please. Jazakumullah. Could I please have the next student to the mic, please?
G1037.
Assalamu alaikum, G1037.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, let's start with this letter. If you could, this example, sorry, these are all the names of Allah Ta'ala, okay? Allah, and if you could read this first. And if I could ask to all the students at home to practice it at home with us as well. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Go on, try to read this.
Allah.
That's it.
Huh?
Okay, so try to join the ha here with the ra, roh, a roh.
Ar-Rahman.
Very nice.
No.
Very nice.
Ar-Rahmanu.
That's it. Very nicely read. Okay, let's try the next.
Ar. He.
Yes.
Mu.
Very nice. And you know that there is a ya madya here, so we would just prolong the he for 2 seconds. You did prolong it a bit, just a little bit longer. He mu.
He. Mu.
Very nice. Try to read the whole word.
Rahimu.
Ar-Rahimu.
Ar-Rahimu.
Very nice. So that was the attribute Ar-Rahimu. And the next attribute, if you could read the next attribute, please. Ready? G1037.
Chalo. One, look.
Alif.
Oh. Come somewhere.
Alif.
No.
Yes, there is alif and there is a fatha on top of the alif. And just try to join.
Al.
That's it.
Ma.
Yes.
Al-ma.
Yes.
Mi. Al-man. Li.
Yeah.
Ku.
Very nice.
Al-miku.
Alma.
Al-maku.
Mali.
Maliku.
Very nice. Al-Maliku.
Come on, say it behind.
Maliku.
Al-maliku.
Very nice. Very nicely read. Okay, shall we carry on?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the next attribute. Do you want to try and read this?
Al.
Yes.
Ku.
Mm-hmm.
Kutu.
Yes.
Al-kutu.
Mm-hmm. What do you do when there is a waw madya?
Du.
That's it.
Su.
Very nice. Very nice. Try to read the whole attribute. Do you want to follow me reading this?
Yes.
Okay. Al-Quddusu.
Al-Qudusu.
Very nice. And the qaf here is colored red because it's a thick letter here, okay? And it's read from your throat. Okay, let's carry on. And this is the next attribute.
Al. As.
That's it.
Asa. La. Mu.
That's it. There is an alif here. And what do you do?
La.
Very nice. Do you want to read the whole word, whole attribute?
Al-salam.
Okay, there is a lam here, and remember from last week's class about wasl, if there is a letter which is blank, then we would just ignore it. We would just carry on reading the next, which has strokes or which is shadda. So we would just ignore the lam here, okay, and we would join the alif with the seen, okay. Assa,
Asa.
that's it.
La.
And prolong it for 2 seconds.
As-salam.
That's it. Very nice. And this attribute here.
Al.
Yes.
Mu.
No.
Mu.
That's it. So it's a hamza tain here.
Al-mu.
Mm-hmm.
Min. Mi. Nu.
Very nice. Do you want to try to read the whole attribute at once?
Yes.
Okay.
अभी पढ़ा तो है अल
Al. Mu.
mu
Mu. Minu.
Very nice.
Al-mu'minu.
Very nice. Very nicely read. Jazakumullah. G1037. Allah Hafiz.
Al-hafiz.
If I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1054.
Assalamu alaikum. G1054.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Alhamdulillah. Let's start from this attribute. Do you want to try read this?
Yes.
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Very nice.
المهيمن
Muhayminu.
هيمن
That's it. Very nice. And do you want to try read this again?
Yes. المهيمن
Very nice. And this word here.
Okay. العزيز
Very nice. So this was the attribute al-azizu. Very nice.
الجبار
Very nice. Al-jabbaru. And you, yes, go on.
الجبار
Very nice. And you prolong this for 2 seconds as well. Very nice. Okay, let's carry on. This attribute here.
المتكبر
Very nice. Al-mutakabbiru.
المتكبر
That's it. And the next attribute, please.
الخالق
That's it. Al-khaliqu.
الخالق
Okay, very nice. And the kha here is colored in red, and the qaf as well. Do you know why?
because they are thick letters.
Very nice. That's it. Let's read the next attribute then.
البار
Mhm.
البار
That's it. So we would just ignore the ya here and read the hamza. Al-bari'u.
البارئ.
That's it. Okay, Jazakumullah. That was very nicely read. G1054. Allah Hafiz.
الحافظ.
Allah Hafiz. And if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1080.
G1080. Assalamu alaikum. Salam. How are you today?
Good. Are you?
Alhamdulillah. Let's start from this attribute.
Al-Musawwiru.
Okay, could you repeat that as well again, please?
Al-Musawwiru.
That's it. Al-Musawwiru.
Al-Musawwiru.
That's it. And the swad here and the ra are colored in red because they will be read. Do you know how they will be read?
They are thick letters.
They're thick letters, and we have to round our mouth a bit to read them. Sawwiru.
Sawwiru.
That's it. And the next attribute here.
Al-Dafaru.
Okay. This is a ghain. Ghafa.
Ghafaru.
Al-Ghafaru.
Al-Ghafaru.
That's it. And we prolong the fa for 2 seconds because there is an alif madiyah here. Okay. Let's carry on with this attribute.
Al-Qaharu.
Very nice. You prolong the ha for 2 seconds because there is an alif madiyah, and the qaf was pronounced very nicely. Just try to round it a bit more. Al-Qaharu.
Qaharu.
Very nice. Okay, carry on with this attribute.
Al-Wa'abu.
Try again.
Al-Wa'abu.
That's it. Al-Wahhabu.
Al-Wahhabu.
Very nice. Okay, let's carry on.
Al-Ruzaf.
Okay, remember there is a fatha on top of the ra. Ar-Razzaqu.
Al-Razzaqu.
Okay, there is a lam here, but because there is no stroke, there is nothing. It's a blank lam. We would just ignore this lam here. So straight from the alif, we would join the alif to the ra, okay, and ignore the lam. Ar-ra. Ar-Razzaqu.
Al-Razzaqu.
Very nice. Okay, this attribute.
Al-Fattahu. Al-Fattahu.
That's it. Al-Fattahu.
Al-Fattahu.
Very nicely read. G1080. Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, if I could remind everyone to use the correct ID, otherwise you will have to be put back to in the waiting area. Jazakumullah. And if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1123.
G1123. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, and Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with this attribute of Allah.
Okay. Al-Alimu.
Very nice. Try to read the ain here with your throat. Al-Alimu.
Al-Alimu.
Very nice. Okay, let's carry on with this attribute.
Al-Qabizu.
Very nice. And you corrected yourself and you rounded your mouth with the qaf here because it's a thick letter, and you prolonged it for 2 seconds. Al-Qabizu.
القابض
Very nice. Okay, let's carry on with this attribute.
الباسط
Okay, because it's a single stroke of dhamma, we would only prolong it for 1 second. Okay, al-basitu.
الباسط
That's it. Okay, let's carry on.
الخافض
Okay, very nicely read. Just try to round your mouth with the qaw here. Okay, do you want to try again?
yes الخافض
Very nice. Al-khafizu.
الخافض
That's it. Let's carry on with the next attribute.
الرافع
Okay, and again with the raw, remember all the letters in red, you have to round them, but they're the thick letters. Okay, try to round. You did round your mouth just a little bit more. Okay, ar-rafi'u.
الرافع
That's it. Very nice. And the next attribute, please.
المعز
Okay, very nice. Just try to with the stroke here with the zamma, the simple zamma. Try to just prolong it for 1 second. Okay, al-mu'izzu.
المعز
Very nice. Very nicely read G1, 1, 2, 3. Jazakumullah and Allah Hafiz.
لافظ
Allah Hafiz. Okay, and if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1124.
Assalamu alaikum, G1124.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah, and jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with this attribute of Allah.
Okay. Al-Muzillu.
Very nice. Al-Mudhillu.
Al-Muzillu.
Very nice. Okay, let's carry on.
As-Sami'u.
Okay, do you want to try again?
As-Sami'u.
Very nice.
As-Sami'u.
Very nice. Just with the ya and the sakoon here, it's a ya madya. So the letter before, you would prolong it for 2 seconds.
Okay.
As-sami'u.
As-Sami'u.
Okay, just prolong the me for just a little bit longer. As-sami'u.
As-Sami'u.
That's it. Okay, the next attribute.
Al-Basiru.
Very nice. I love your pronunciation. Al-basiru.
Al-Basiru.
Very nice. Okay, and let's carry on with the next attribute.
Al-Hukmu.
That's it. Al-hukmu.
Al-Hukmu.
Very nice. And the next attribute.
Al-Adlu.
Yes, al-adlu.
Al-Adlu.
And the next attribute.
Al-Latifu.
Very nice. Al-latifu.
Al-Latifu.
Very nicely read. G1124. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay. Let's move on. And if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1076.
Assalamu alaikum, G1076.
Alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good.
Alhamdulillah. Let's start with this attribute.
Okay. Al-Khabiru.
Very nice. Al-khabiru.
Al-Khabiru.
Very nice. And this?
Al-Halimu.
Very nicely read. Just try to read the ha a bit more from your throat. Al-halimu.
Al-Halimu.
That's it. And the next attribute, please.
Azimu.
Very nice. Al-Azimu.
Al-Azimu.
Yes. And remember, the zo here is a thick letter, and this will be rounded a bit. Even with the kasra, we will try to make it distinct from other letters which are not read thick. Okay, so zimu.
Zimu.
Yes. And the next attribute?
Al-Ghafuru.
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 Very nice. And the next attribute?
Ash-Shakuru.
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 Very nice. And the next attribute, please?
Al-Ali. Al-Aliyu.
Very nice. Just try this ain here. Try not to round it. Just try to read it. I. That's it. Don't round your lips when you're reading it. Al-Aliyu.
Al-Aliyu.
Okay. Very nicely read, G1076. Jazakumullah and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz. And if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1002.
Assalamu alaikum, G1002.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. And if you have another device connected to the class as well, could you please ask them to move out of the room?
Okay.
Jazakumullah. And let's start from this attribute here.
Al-Kabiru.
Very nice. Al-Kabiru.
Al-Kabiru.
Okay, very nicely read. And the next attribute.
Al-Hafizu.
Very nicely read. Just try to read the ha a bit more from your throat. Ha. Okay. Yes.
Al-Muqitu.
Let's try this attribute again. Al-Hafizu.
Al-Hafizu.
Very nice. And now carry on to this one.
Al-Muqitu.
Do you want to try again?
Yeah. Al-Muqitu.
Very nice try. Very nicely read. Al-Muqitu.
Al-Muqitu.
Very nice. And the next attribute.
Al-Hasibu.
That's it. Al-Hasibu.
Al-Hasibu.
Very nicely read. And the next attribute.
Al-Jalilu.
That's it. Al-Jalilu.
Al-Jalilu.
And the next attribute.
Al-Kirimu.
Okay, remember there is a fatha on top of the kaf.
Al-Karimu.
That's it. Al-Karimu.
Al-Karimu.
That's it. Very nicely read, G1002. Jazakumullah and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, now if I could have the next student to the mic, please. Could I have the next student to the mic, please?
G1003.
Assalamu alaikum, G1003. Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah, and jazakumullah for asking. If I could ask you to, if there is another device in the same room, could you please ask them to move to another room?
Okay. I am in another room.
That's great. Jazakumullah. And let's start from this example here.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Well done. Okay, and this attribute of Allah, if we could start from here.
Okay. Allah. Okay.
Okay. There is a lam here, but because it's a blank lam, we wouldn't read it. We would just join the alif with the ra. Ar-ra.
Allah.
Yes, ar-ra. That's it.
Allah.
Carry on.
Kibu.
Okay, very nice. Very nice try. And because there is a ya madya here, we would prolong the qaf for 2 seconds. Qibu.
Kibu.
That's it. Ar-raqibu.
Al-Raqibu.
Very nicely read. And let's carry on with this attribute of Allah.
Al-Bu-Ji-Bu.
That's it. Very nice. And remember, there is again a ya madya. Do you know what we will be doing?
Ji.
Yes.
Bu.
Prolonging the G for 2 seconds and the bu just for 1 second. Okay. Al-Mujibu.
Al-Mujibu.
That's it. Very nice. And let's carry on to the next example here.
Al-Hakimu.
That's it.
Hakimu.
Okay. So because the meme has just a zamma, we would just read it for 1 second, mu. And the kaf, we would read it for 2 seconds because there is a ya madya here. Okay. Al-Hakimu.
Al-Hakimu.
That's it. Very nice. Okay, let's try this attribute of Allah.
Al-Wajudu.
Okay, very nice. And again, there is a vaw madya. Do you know how we will be reading the dal, this dal here?
Yes.
Okay. For 2 seconds. We will prolong it for 2 seconds. Dudu.
Dudu.
Al-wadudu.
Al-Wajudu. It's just like the Dudu name.
Okay, and let's carry on to the next attribute of Allah.
Al-Bajidu.
That's it. So this time you read the ya madya correctly. Okay, just remember there is a dhamma on the dal, so we would only prolong it for 1 second. Okay, al-majidu.
Al-Majidu.
So in the whole attribute, only the G here will be prolonged for 2 seconds. Okay, let's carry on to the next attribute.
Al-Baisu.
Okay, so which of the words here will be prolonged for 2 seconds?
Ba.
Ba. So only the ba will be prolonged for 2 seconds. All the other ones will be prolonged for 2 seconds. Al-Ba'isu.
Al-Baisu.
Al-Ba'isu.
Al-Baisu.
Very nicely read, G1003. Jazakumullah and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1005.
Assalamu alaikum, G1005.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, and Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with this attribute of Allah.
الشهيد
Very nicely read. Ash-shahidu.
الشهيد
That's it. And let's carry on to the next attribute.
الحق
Very nice. Al-haqqu.
الحق
That's it. And the next attribute, please.
الواكيل
Okay. So with the key, there is a ya madya just after the kaf, and it will be prolonged for 2 seconds. Okay. And the waw has just a fatha stroke, so it will be prolonged for 1 second. Al-wakilu.
الوكيل
That's it. Very nice. And the next attribute.
القوي
Okay, so do you know why it's colored red, the qaf?
what
The qaf is colored red. So it means that it's a thick letter. It will be pronounced with your mouth rounded a bit. Okay. Qa.
قا
Al-qawiyyu.
القوي
Wiju.
وجه
That's it. Al-qawiyyu.
القوي
Okay, very nice. And the next attribute, please.
المتين
That's it. Very nicely read. Al-matinu.
المتين
Okay, and the next attribute.
الولي
Very nice. Just because we are joining the lam to the ya, so we won't be prolonging the lam any longer. Okay, so we will just straight be joining the lam to the ya. Al-waliyu.
الولي
That's it. Very nicely read. And Jazakumullah G1005. Allah Hafiz.
الحافظ
Allah Hafiz. Okay, if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1074.
Assalamu alaikum G1074.
Walaikum salam.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Very nice. So let's start with this attribute.
الحميد.
Very nice. Al-Hamidu.
الحميد.
Okay, let's carry on to the next attribute.
المحصي.
Very nice. Al-Muhsiyu.
المحصي.
Very nice. So you know why this is colored in red?
Because it's a thick letter.
Thick letter, and you read it correctly as well. Okay, let's carry on with the next attribute.
المبدئ.
Very nice. Al-Mubdi'u.
المبدئ.
Very nice. Let's carry on with this attribute.
They're going to ask you again next.
المعيد. المعيد.
Very nicely read, and you recognize the ya madya here as well. Very nicely read. Al-Mu'idu.
المعيد.
Okay, very nice. Let's carry on with this one, but just before you read, there is a vertical kasra here which can't be seen very proper, very good. So when you read it, this is a vertical kasra just underneath the ya. Okay.
المحيي.
That's it. Al-Muhyi.
المحيي.
Okay, very nice. And the next attribute, please.
المميت.
That's it. Al-Mumitu.
المميت.
Very nicely read, G1074. Jazakumullah and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1091.
Assalamu alaikum, G1091.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. If we could start with this attribute, please.
Al-Hayyu.
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 Very nicely read. Al-Hayyu.
Al-Hayyu.
That's it. And the next attribute, please.
Al-Qayyum.
Al-
Yeah. This is a thick letter. Qa.
Al-
Yeah. And you join onto the ya with the tashdid and the ta.
Kaya.
Al-Qayyum.
Al-Qayyumu.
Very nice. Al-Qayyumu.
Al-Qayyumu.
Very nice. And the next.
Al-Wajidu.
Al-Wajidu.
Very nice. Al-Wajidu.
Al-Wajidu.
Okay, remember there is an alif maddiya here. So we would prolong the wa for 2 seconds. Wajidu.
Wajidu.
Okay. Let's carry on to the next attribute. Okay, there is a fatha on top of the alif. Yeah.
Al.
Yeah.
نزل زيارة.
Al-Na.
Al-Majid.
Al-Majidu.
Very nice. Al-Majidu.
Al-Majidu.
Just prolonging the meme for 2 seconds because there is a alif maddiya here. Majidu.
Majidu.
That's it. Now the next attribute of Allah.
Al-Wahidu.
That's it. Al-Wahidu.
Al-Wahidu.
That's it. And this attribute, please.
La.
Okay, so this is a blank lam, meaning that there is no stroke on the lam. So we would just ignore this lam. And we would carry on joining the alif to the sad here. Okay, so join the alif to the sad. Just ignore this lam here.
As.
Yes.
As.
Aso.
Asa. Ma.
Yes.
Du.
That's it. As-samadu.
As-samadu.
Very nice. Jazakumullah G1091. Very nice. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Okay, if I could have the next student for the next line, please.
G1096.
Assalamu alaikum G1096.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well and Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with this attribute.
Al-Qadiru.
Yes, that's it. Just remember this qaf here is colored red, which means what do we have to do? That, yes. So we have to round it, read it thick. Al-Qadiru.
Al-Qadiru.
Very nice. Let's carry on to the next attribute, please.
Al-Muqtadiru.
Very nice. Al-Muqtadiru.
Al-Muqtadiru.
Very nicely read. And let's try to read this attribute.
Al-Muqaddimu.
Very nice. Just remember again, Qaf is a thick letter. And how would we read it?
Qa.
Oh, very nice. Round your mouth a bit when you're reading it. Al-Muqaddimu.
Al-Miqad.
Al-Muqaddimu.
Al-Muqaddimu.
That's it. Very nice. And the next attribute.
Al-Mu'akhiru.
Very nice. Al-Mu'akhiru.
Al-Mu'akhiru.
Very nice. And the next attribute.
Al-Awwalu.
That's it. Al-Awwalu.
Al-Awwalu.
Very nice. And the next attribute, please.
Al-Akhiru.
Very nice. You prolong the alif here for 2 seconds because there is a vertical fatha. Al-Akhiru.
Al-Akhiru.
Very nicely read, G1096. Jazakumullah and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, and let's read the next line. And if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1004.
Assalamu alaikum, G1004.
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah आपने जो choose किया है.
Walaikum assalam. And how are you today?
मैं ठीक हूँ. आप कैसी हैं?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well and Jazakumullah for asking.
Jazakallah आपने मुझे choose किया है.
It's okay. Let's start with this attribute here.
Al-Zahiru.
Very nicely read. Just remember there is the Zohe is colored red. And what would we do?
Round mouse करते इसलिए वो एक thick letter है.
It's a thick letter. Very nicely recognized. So Az-Zohiru.
Al-Zahiru.
That's it. Let's carry on with the next.
Al-Batinu.
Very nice. And you read the Tohe thickly, and it's very difficult to read the Tha with a kasra thick, and you did it really nicely. Al-Batinu.
Al-Batinu.
Very nice. And the next attribute, please.
Al-Wali.
Okay, do you want to try again?
Al-Wali.
That's it. So you recognized the alif madiyah here, and you prolong the waw for 2 seconds. Just remember there is a ya madiyah, and you will prolong the lam for 2 seconds as well. You did prolong it, just for a little bit longer. Al-Wali.
Al-Wali.
That's it. If you could hold on 1 second, and I will just call back the breakout room students.
अच्छा जी.
Okay, if you could carry on with the next attribute, please.
Al-Muta'ali.
That's it. Al-Muta'ali.
Al-Muta'ali.
And here you prolonged the ayn as well for 2 seconds, and the lam here because there is alif madiyah and ya madiyah. Very nicely read. Okay, let's carry on.
Al-barru.
That's it. Al-barru.
Al-barru.
Yes. And the next attribute, please.
At-twabu.
Okay, do you want to try again?
At-twabu.
Okay. Remember to join the ta with the vowel as well. Okay. So there are two tashdeed here. Okay. First joining the alif with the ta, and quickly then after the ta joining the ta with the vowel. At-tawabu.
At-tawabu.
Very nice. At-tawabu.
At-tawabu.
Jazakumullah G1004. Very
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, let's see if the breakout room students are back. Yes, they are back. And I would just quickly consolidate, summarize what we did today. So we did the attributes of Allah, read the attributes of Allah, and we practiced the attributes of Allah called Asma'ul Husna. Okay, and just wanted to remind you of the wasl again, because we have had a few students reading the lam here as well. So whenever there is a blank lam, meaning there is no stroke on the lam or any other letter, we would just ignore it and carry on reading the next letter which has strokes on it, or tashdid, or jazm, or any other stroke. So we did that last week. Just if you could read through it a bit, do a few examples, so it will be easier for you. Okay, now I will go through the homework with you quickly. Okay. Sorry. Right. So the homework today is recap with combining exercise 18.1 and 18.2. Let me just quickly show you what it is. So it will be this 18.1. Okay, and you will be covering the wasl as well, and 18.2, the blank letters which have no stroke. You will be covering that, and it's on page 76. And try to read 2 rows from each exercise. And remember that a letter carrying a stroke is a mutaharrik letter, and a sakin letter is joined to the most recent mutaharrik letter. Remember that as well. And a mushaddad letter joins to the most recent mutaharrik letter as well. Okay, so when you're reading, remember that. If we could do the ending prayer, and if I could have the next student to the mic, please.
G1006.
Assalamu alaikum, G1006.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Let's recite the Tawaz and Tasmiyah. A'udhu billah.
A'udhu billah.
Minash shaitan.
Minash shaitan.
Minash shaitan.
Minash shaitan.
Nirrajim.
Nirrajim.
Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Rahman.
Rahman.
Nirrahim.
Rahim.
Allahumma.
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 Hamni.
Hamni.
Bilqur.
Bilqur.
Anil.
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 Azim.
Azim.
Very nicely read. Do you think you can read the translation here?
Oh Allah, have mercy on me throughout the Quran the Great.
Very nice. Jazakumullah G1006. Allah Hafiz. And this brings us to the end of the class for today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.